Hey, today working on a 2011 BMW 328i. This particular car has a torn diaphragm for the exhaust gas, not crankcase gas ventilation. That's this round thing right here. BMW does not sell this part. They sell integral to the valve cover. So if this part does go bad, BMW wants you to replace the entire valve cover. I think that's a little excessive. If your valve cover is already leaking and you're doing this anyway, yeah, and if you got the extra money, go ahead and change the valve cover. But I did some research on the internet and I found a replacement cap that has the new diaphragm already installed in it. This cap on the vehicle is glued to the valve cover. What I'm going to try to attempt today is to remove this cap on the car without taking the valve cover off. So this is going to be a learning experience. I'm going to give it a shot, see what happens. And again, this is a 2011 328i with the N51 engine, plastic valve cover. I think all these 3-liter engines with the plastic valve cover, it's going to be the same deal. It's going to have this diaphragm. And one easy way to tell if it's bad is if the engine is running and it's got a rough idle and you twist the cap off the valve cover, the oil fill cap, and you hear a psst while it's running, and you put it back on, psst, and you take it back off. That's usually a sign that this diaphragm is torn. And what basically is happening is the engine intake is pulling vacuum constantly from this. When vacuum goes up and down depending on throttle position, this diaphragm will open and close, which I can't really show, but if I were to blow into this little orifice, it would push this diaphragm out and in, and when that diaphragm tears, the engine can't regulate that, so it's just pulling vacuum all the time. It'll throw check engine light, lean codes, misfires, all kinds of things. There's a tube back here. I got it bypassed at the moment because I put a cap on it so that the car would be a little more drivable, but I will repair that once it's done. Yeah, so this is just an all-around bad deal to have happen. So, sorry for my ramblings, but the gist of it is they want you to replace the valve cover and the diaphragm tears, and I think from BMW it's around $500 for the valve cover. This is between 20 and 30 bucks off eBay, depending on which seller you get it from. So it's worth a try. I don't know how successful I'm going to be, but I figure it's worth a shot. I believe that cap is glued on. I mean, there is some clips around the perimeter of it, but I stuck a small screwdriver and tried to work the little tabs loose, and it seems really solid on there. So I'm assuming that they put it on with a type of glue, and the clips are just kind of there as a secondary if the glue fails. So I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to try to take it off. What I'm going to be trying first is I used a small pry bar and I stuck it on the lip in between the valve cover and the clamp, and I kind of pushed on it, and it's on there. It's not moving. So I don't think that's going to work. So my next attempt at this is going to be a Dremel with a small plastic cutting bit, and I'm just going to make little notches in the cap based on what I'm looking at on the new one, how far I can cut in, and just try to loosen that glue up so I can get that off. Once I pop that cap off, I can rough that with some sandpaper and maybe put some adhesive down inside here or some RTV or something sticky just to help hold it on. So I don't think it's super critical how tight it is as long as it's air tight, and the clips will hold it on. I think they're just more wanting an airtight seal. So I'm going to give this a shot, see what happens. I'll do some cutting, and then I will report back to how much success or unsuccessful I was.